Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo here. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're ready for more Third Age action. I'm sure you are because, well, Third Age is a fan favorite, and this one is going to be a great one. This is a fantastic battle, very unique. What we're seeing right here is a great rebellion in the territory of Harad. So we have some Haradrim tribes who are sick and tired of being under the boots of Sauron, and they're sick of living under kings that aren't even kings. They're just empty, soulless puppets that are controlled by Sauron, and they're sick of the darkness that is spewing from Mordor, destroying their cultures and killing their men for a cause that they don't even believe in. So finally, they're going to pick up their weapons and bring war amongst their own people, the people who are loyal to Sauron, and they're going to fight to the death for what they believe is right. So that's our scenario, but that's really just the start of it. So we've got the rebellion, but we also have another enemy force on the battlefield. So the rebels, they realize that they don't have the manpower. They don't really have as well-trained troops and equipment. So to be able to win this war, they've got to pick their battles wisely. So they decided to pick a location that's deep in Harad. It's very sandy. It's very hilly, and they're going to use the hill in their advantage. But also, we've got some wild goblins in some nearby, untamed goblin caves. Now, these goblins, they're not loyal to anyone, so they could attack whoever they want, but I guess they're risking it. They're like, you know what? They might attack us, but hopefully they mostly attack the loyalist, the people who are loyal to Sauron. So it could backfire, but it's do or die in this type of situation. They either get their freedom and they save Harad and restore it to what it truly is, or they die and Harad continues to be loyal. So let's go ahead and look at the army comps. We're going to go super slow-mo in this one. If we look over here, let me just show you the map real quick. So this is the rebel side. They've got a nice, palm tree location, get some shade. They got the high ground. And then over here, if you look on the mini-map, you can see the gray. That's the goblin caves. And you can see the goblins just licking their lips. They're ready to eat some man flesh. But way over here, oh, sorry about this, guys. The camera's freaking out. We do have goblins that are up on this ledge who are already firing some bows into the loyalist army. I'm just going to call it Mordor just to keep it simple. But yeah, Mordor sent over an extra army to support this, to counter the rebellion. So we do have some orcs and trolls on the battlefield. And then the loyal forces are mostly like really good units, like Easterlings and just really skilled soldiers. So anyways, let's go into detail about these armies. Let me start with the rebels because they're a little different. It's going to get a little confusing. I mean, civil wars tend to be confusing. There's a lot of friendly fire. So just remember to look at the mini-map and try to, that will help you figure out who's who. But the first rebel force is commanded by Miles and Davis, or this time he's called Miles yes, I am Miles and Davis. He's got some tribal spearmen in the front line, so pretty cool. It's basically a medieval to Middle Eastern type unit, so that's cool. And then back here he's got some Haradrim archers, Haradrim spearmen, and some Muha tribesmen. In the front ranks, he does have some cav, so he's got some skirmishing cav to try to soften up their forces before the infantry meet in the center. It's a pretty small army compared to the forces of Mordor, but way back here, this is their secret weapon. The Muma. They have the beast of war on their side, so they've got to try to use them wisely. The other army, which is commanded by cannon fodder, this is pretty much very identical to his allies' army. Very similar forces. He's got his general in the back. He does have skirmish cav in the front as well, so 3 units. And then way back here, he also has a unit of Muma, and I cannot stress this enough. The Muma are going to be vital to the rebels' victory here today. Now let's head over to the. Actually, let's look at the loyalists. Let's see who they're fighting. So the loyalists. We'll start with Happy Meal. He's leading a nice force of Southron warband. So lots of warband. He also has some Haradrim archers. Again, you're going to see a lot of the same units killing each other. He has some artillery, which they've got to, the rebels have to watch out for. You don't want them to use that on the Muma kill. And then back here, he is bringing some Black Numenorians and some mounted Black Numenorians. There's a couple rules that I'll explain after I do the army comps really fast. I'll explain it later. Here's another army. We have Rules 1. That's ironic. So he's bringing a lot of nice heavy shock cav. And then, of course, we got the more elite clan warriors. We've got some dismounted Varigs and some clan guard. Way back here, we have the Easterlings. Of course, the Easterlings are loyal to Sauron. So pretty cool. And then the final force, which is mostly just Mordor, commanded by son of Imladris. He's bringing Orc Band, Orc Raiders, Catapults, some Olog High, and then some Black Numenorians in the very back. And then we'll go ahead and look at the goblins. The goblins, there's two armies. We got the first army here commanded by paladinbob. Got a lot of goblins in that army. So archers, he's got a couple catapults, which is cool. But yeah, lots of just infantry kind of scattered around. And then there's one more player on the battlefield. Here he is. I never get his name right, but I'll pronounce it like I always do. Swainy Troll. He is also leading one of the goblin armies. Now remember, they are not loyal to anyone but themselves, so they will fight anyone that goes near them or anyone that they choose to fight. Now real quick, let's talk about the rules. There's a couple rules. If the leader, the witch, I believe the witch king, or I think it's just a Nazgul, if the Nazgul dies for the attackers, the main general, the guy who's commanding everything, then it's an automatic defeat for the loyalists, the Mordor forces. We also have another rule for the Mordor forces. If the Black Numenorians, if they all die, then it's considered a draw. So that includes the mounted and dismounted. I don't really see that happening, but you never know. And the final rule is that whoever can kill the goblin chief, if they can kill him, then the goblins will be loyal to whoever killed him. So the goblin general, he's somewhere in the mix. I think it's one of the general's bodyguards. So just look out for that. That could be a strategy. I don't know. The rebels could go for that, try to take out the general. But I'm pretty sure the goblins will mostly, use up their common pawns, their infantry, before the general is anywhere in danger of dying. So even if you kill the general, then it could just, like, you would have to kill the entire goblin army before you could actually get to the general. But anyways, let's do normal speed and dive right into this battle. Alright, so the rebels are advancing forward. There is a little bit of a land bridge, a ford here that they could try to blockade and protect. Now the Mordor forces just kind of hanging back. They are still getting skirmished a little bit by the goblins up on this this ledge, this mountainside. Actually, it looks like he's going to go ahead and hold his fire. Not sure why. I would just be like, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of bad for the rebels. Just looking at the army comps, even though they have the Muma kill, I feel like the rebels are going to need some help. So if I was the goblin player, I think I'd be a little biased, even though that's kind of against the rules. As the goblin player, you just have to hate everyone equally. But it looks like he is going to hold his fire. Maybe he's just saving it for a better opportunity. But Mordor's just kind of hanging back. They're all just sitting back. Wait, what's this over here? Wait, whoa. Oh, Harad. Oh, oh, okay. Wait, they've got hidden troops behind the rebel? Wait, I'm confused. Yes, they have. Okay, wow. So they've got, I didn't even know this was part of the battle. So they've got some Hashari behind the enemy forces. Now they're out in the open, and these palm trees, man, I don't know what it is about Medieval 2 and palm trees, but if you zoom out and zoom in, they disappear, they flicker. I don't even know what. Look at that. What is happening right now? It's like psychedelic. It's crazy. But the Hashari, what is he doing with these guys? I mean, they're out in the open, so I'm pretty sure these guys realize that there's enemy forces, there's rebel forces behind their army. Should be quite interesting what happens here. Both armies are still kind of taking their time advancing forward. So I went ahead and fast forward a little bit, just waiting for these forces to get a little bit closer. You haven't missed anything, just a lot of marching. It looks like the rebel forces are finally getting a little bit closer to their enemy. And we also have some troops, yeah, the Hashari kind of just waiting, maybe just waiting for them to cross the river. Not too certain what they're going to be able to accomplish with this light infantry. They are very good light infantry, but without the support of archers and heavy infantry, they're not going to be extremely effective. Now, if he charges, if he like times this just right to where the infantry is pinning down a lot of the troops in the front line, and then he charges around and uses that flanking force, maybe he could do a lot of destruction, but we'll see what happens. He's got his archers in the front. No, these aren't archers. These are tribal spearmen. So he's got his men in loose formation. I think he's a little bit afraid of the artillery that Mordor has on their side. Over on this way, Mordor still just hanging back, just sitting back. Nothing really going on with the goblins. Are they firing? Nope, they're holding fire. Artillery is hanging back. A lot of the goblins are just chilling for now. Should be pretty interesting to see what happens with these goblins. Who knows? They might just sit back and just watch the battle from a great point of view and just enjoy their time. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if the rebels are going to go over there or the goblins are going to charge out and surprise both armies. Like, gotcha. Now I'm going to kill y'all. Like, they just wait for the perfect moment. I'm not too sure. But, hey, if they just sit back the whole time, that's cool too. All right, so the armies are still facing off. All right, finally, we are seeing some action. The archers. Oh, sorry, 2 times 1. Let's slow it down. The archers for Rune, they're firing down and they're causing some pretty heavy damage down on the Haradrim forces. By the way, I mixed up my intro a little bit. I said the Easterlings, of course, are still loyal. Of course they're loyal. They're part of Rune, not part of Harad. I always mix up Harad and Rune. I'm really sorry about that, but yeah, Rune has sent over some forces to support Mordor to bring down the Haradrim Rebellion. Anyways, the skirmish is underway. The rebels don't really have a lot of archers. They do, well, they do have some Haradrim archers. They need to get them in position and fire back, but this just doesn't look that great for the rebels hanging back here. It just doesn't seem like it's in their advantage. They might have to push forward and bring the fight to them, but look at this massive army. I don't know. It's going to be really difficult for them to try to cross this land bridge and bring the fight to them because, well, it's just, and I think they are doing that. The tribal spearmen are marching forward, so he realizes that he can't sit back much longer. Also, we have the flanking troops back here. Nobody seems to know that these troops are back here. Maybe they don't even realize. Who knows? Hopefully that's the case because they're going to need a nice surprise attack. Here comes the tribal spearmen. So they're going to silence those archers, at least for a little bit. And we have more troops ready to face them on the battlefield. Southron Warband advancing against this army. So infantry, finally we're going to get our first infantry clash on the land bridge. And there you have it, guys. The spears are going in. We also have some Haradrim raiders that are joining the fight as well. And the catapults are starting to fire. He's releasing some boulders upon the rebel forces. And the fight is really taking off now. But we got just rows and rows of Southron Warband ready to try to stop the charging rebels against this land bridge. Still a great positioning here of the dismounted Varigs, who are putting down a lot of suppressing fire. All right, victory will be theirs, apparently. Nice hit with the catapult, taking out some forces. That's a great way to break the enemy forces. I would be terrible. I would be terrified of flaming balls of justice. And this is where definitely some friendly fire is going to go down. Southron versus Haradrim Warband. I mean, they look so similar. But thankfully, the computer knows who's who. But again, guys, look at the battlefield. Use the mini map so we can see, you know, who's who. But yeah, they're definitely getting their men in this fight. It might be time to send in the Muma kill. They do have some ballista back here, which are going to be very important. I don't know why this hasn't been pushed up earlier, because using the ballista while their infantry's in the fight would have been a great supporting unit. But now they're starting to lose a lot of infantry over on this side. So they need to quickly get that ballista up there, fire down at the reserves who are just kind of sitting behind the lines. But so far, I mean, this is it's just been a tricky situation. Yeah, like, can you even tell what's going on? I'm pretty sure, let's see, Happy Meal's got his men fighting Miles and Davis. So yeah, Happy Meal's winning on this side. Now the artillery, no! It's going for the reserves. That's terrible news for cannon fodder. His men are definitely cannon fodder right now, getting shot up by that catapult. But we got fresh reserves trying to hold the line. It looks like they're really struggling. A lot of men are breaking. You know, those rebels, a lot of them are just farmers and you know, poets. But now they're warriors, and they're not good ones. So they are breaking. Very poor discipline. But I don't blame them. I mean, they're taking on a pretty large force. More troops going in. So yeah, like I said, this is probably going to come down to the Muma kill. If they can get a lot of kills with the Muma kill, then they can save this battle. But so far, they're really struggling. And it's not the player's fault. It's not like they're making bad decisions. It's more just their arsenal. You know, like what their unit roster, their army roster. It's kind of hard to fight off this huge force. And the goblins, I mean, they might just have to fight who looks like they're going to win. That way, you know, just to, like, if the goblins go after the army that looks like they're going to win, then the goblins will be the last one standing. So I think it would be a fair rule that the goblins go after the faction that they think is winning. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool. More breaking in the front line as this battle continues on. Lots of arrow fire coming down, though. Now, the good news for the rebels is that the Mordor forces, they are really blobbed up here, so they could easily get some good kills with the archers. So that's exactly what's happening. These are lighter type units, so it's not like they have heavy armor to protect them from the arrows. But it's been a pretty bloody battle so far, and a very confusing one as well. Again, it's just civil wars. Rebellions, it's hard to tell who's who. And Mordor still has his reserve force back here, not even moving, not yet. The goblins hanging back with the artillery. You know what? Why not? Just kill everyone. Fire that artillery. Kill Mordor. What if he takes out like the witch or the Nazgul with the one shot, and then it's a victory? There he is. Here's the Nazgul. If he just snipes them out, battle is a victory for the rebels. Like, that would be so amazing. Anyways, let's go back to the main fight where we're getting more and more professional troops into the front line. The tribal spearmen from Cannon Fodder's army is joining the fray. We also have 2 more reserves closing in. So they are constantly sending men, relying on their archers to really soften them up. And they're just trying to slowly grind down their army. Now, they've got to make sure that they've got enough troops to support the Muma kill. They've got to support the Muma kill, because Muma kill are really good, but if they don't have infantry support, if they don't have archer support, then the enemy can really focus them down with all their weapons, and they can take them out so quickly. And just look at the amount of arrows right now flying overhead. Blood is splattering everywhere. It's insane. This is my favorite thing about Medieval 2. It's just the arrows, the chaos in the sky above these soldiers' heads. Truly, truly chaotic and very, very fun to see. Very fun to watch. Look at that. It's just raining down arrows from both angles. I mean, like, I thought the sandstorm was bad. It's an arrow storm. It's just awful. It would be horrible to fight in this front line. So we're about, I would say, like, what, about 1/3 through the battle so far, and I definitely have to say that this is in favor of the you know, the loyal forces to Sauron. The rebels are really struggling. He's got his Muhab tribesmen now. They're getting a little bit closer to the front line. They're going to try to pepper down with their javelins, which is what they need. I mean, they need to continue to soften up these forces. We just have a carpet of dead troops over in this one area. Realistically, it would be hard to get some footing during this fight because there's just dead bodies everywhere. And, you know, it would be pretty gruesome to see, but could you imagine if Total War got so good that instead of the troops instantly dying, they kind of like slowly die out? So you got troops like crawling around and begging for mercy. And then other soldiers are trying to like make sure not to step on their like fallen comrades, or maybe they're trying to quickly kill off the injured enemy. It'd be cool to see that, but it would be so many animations and it would cause optimization issues. But so far, I mean, they keep sending in more men. The rebels still have a pretty sizable force. He's got more Muhad tribesmen. Lots of Muhad tribesmen. That's like the heart of his army. Still has his cav in reserve back here. And of course, we cannot forget about the Muma kill, which I guess they show up a little bit later. They could just like be reinforcements, or they're just being really smart about it, just holding them back until the most critical moment. But he is firing his ballista after the archers and cav that's stationed over here. Oh my god, the blood and just the carnage on this fight is just so cool. Now the goblins, they're just having a good old day. They're just like, I can't wait until these armies walk away and then we can feast. Feast on the man flesh. Goblins are disgusting, man. Just filth. Ah, man, men killing each other when they should be hunting down goblins. What a shame. What a shame. Just making the goblins stronger. So still a lot of arrows coming down from the Haradrim archers. They might want to start to save their ammo because there's really not too many forces for them to kill. But good God, look at this army. Look at this. I mean, it's just, and the catapult was destroyed by the ballista. That's good. They saved a lot of lives there. But this just seems very unlikely that they're going to win this fight. There is a bit of a tussle going on. I kind of missed this. I apologize about that. Doesn't look like we missed too much. There's a small fight. That's what I was trying to say. With the Hashari trying to fight. It looks like the Cav, but they still have 3 units on this side. And the Mordor allies, they're just kind of hanging back, just waiting for them to attack. Not really going to try to go after them. But yeah, the Hashari just sitting back. Just waiting to strike, waiting for weak targets, and we'll head back to this main fight where it's starting to calm down a little bit. Both armies are not interested in sending more troops over to this side, over into the middle. So they're gonna let what they have left fight it out, duke it out, and then I think we're gonna go into a bit of a skirmish phase between the 2 skirmishing forces. The ballista is still going to town though, taking out some very critical units. There you go. There you go. That ballista. Okay, so I think it was a big mistake for the rebels to be so aggressive at the start. I think the better option would have to get the ballista, get the 2 ballista or 3 ballistas up towards the front line and harass them like this. And by harassing them like this, it makes them restless and it makes them want to cross the bridge and bring the fight to them. The rebels don't really have the manpower to go, being super aggressive, but the Mordor forces do. And if they could, definitely, this would be in favor of the rebels if they could have been able to sit back and just use the hill, use the choke point, and use those ballistas who are racking up kills right now. I'm not saying that it's game over for the rebels, but they're definitely going to need to do a lot of smart tactics from here on out to try to turn this battle around. Because they are definitely, they've lost quite a bit. It's hard to tell by looking at the balance of power because it's also counting the goblins. I wish there was like 3 colors, the goblin color to represent how powerful they are. But there is some movement going on. Let's see. Let's check back here. Let's see what else is. Okay, seriously though, like what is happening here? Like why are the units just kind of like, we're just gonna sit our cav around here, look your Hashari. Unless the Hashari are just like invisible to them, I really don't know. But let's go back over to this side where Mordor is, let's see, where is Mordor? What are they doing? Where are you going, Mordor? They are marching towards the tunnels, the caves of the goblins. So I think he might be going for the general. I think he's going to try to take out the goblin general. And not that it's really needed, because, even if he kills the goblin general and he gets the support of the goblins, so far the battle is going quite well for his side, for Mordor's side. So it's not like he needs the extra goblin support. Now we have, oh, that's not good. That's terrible news. Haradrim archers. I assume are out of ammo. Don't look at the arrows on their backs. It's all just cosmetic. I'm pretty sure they're out of ammo, and they're now going into melee, which is, yeah. I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. Whenever you have to throw in your archers, it's a pretty desperate situation as infantry. Come on, Ballista. You got to get more kills than that. We have fresh South Ron Warband. Here comes the Muma kill. And oh my god, look at this. This is just too epic. There they go, charging in the Muma kill. And they are crushing those spears. That was a beautiful charge. Oh my god, look at them knocking them all over. They grouped them up perfect for this charge. Wonderful charge. And they are just destroying their forces. They've got to be careful though. Oh, this is what I was afraid of. This is what I'm talking about. You cannot go alone with the Muma kill. They will get focused down. He's got to keep them moving. He's got to keep them going because those charges are so devastating. Oh, is that a ballista? Oh, they have a ballista. That is not good. Oh, so they're going after... I don't know, but they're obviously trying to kill the Muma kill. Go, Muma kill, go! You're the savior of the broken. You can save this rebellion. Oh, the fire arrows. Come on, keep taking out the archers. That's your main target. Take out the archers. The infantry are not to be worried about. They should go ahead and move up the other Muma kill as well. Where is the other Muma kill? Just curious. Oh, there they go. They're marching up. So I guess they're going to take their time. No need to rush, right? So it's pretty cool because I wasn't even paying attention to what they were doing with the Muma kill. Go, Muma kill, go. So great, man. So great. So great volley there. Keep using those fire arrows. He's trying to scare the Muma kill. He's trying to break them, cause them to go berserk. This one's on fire. Burnt to a crisp. And now down to the ground. So they've already lost one Muma kill. Have they done enough damage? Probably not. But we'll see. We'll see. So they keep on pushing. Use those tusks. Swing around. Kill those archers. Oh, what? What? Oh my god. That's right. Okay. So a little fun tip. Whenever you're facing Muma kill or elephants in Medieval 2, javelins. Javelins take them out like no other. That's one target you've got to look out for. These tribesmen, they did well. They did very well. Killing most of the Muma kill in one volley. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I think for balancing reasons, they shouldn't have let the Mordor forces have javelins. Oh, charge the cav. Boom! Nice. All right, so he's trying to take out the elite heavy cav. Is this elephant going berserk? No, it's not. It's not berserk. But if it gets in range of the javelins, it's screwed. Gotta stay away from the javelins. Now we've got some pretty intense fighting here. It looks like this little center position's being defended by mostly Muhad tribesmen, holding back some Black Numenorian or dismounted Black Numenorians. Also, we have some ballista support and skirmishing support. There's actually some fighting over the Goblin caves as well. Mordor is headed out this way. Okay, it looks like there was a bit of fighting here. Some cav charges. Oh, and the catapults are going wild. So very cool. So they're going to push through. And this is just an ideal location for this catapult on this cliff. It makes it very difficult for Mordor to get up there. But there's a lot of orcs breaking right now. Mordor's just got to take care of these goblins. They've got to kill their own kind. Orcs and goblins, they're pretty much the same thing. I think goblins are like underground orcs, so they're interchangeable. I mean, I remember, reading somewhere that, Tolkien refers to them both, as orcs and goblins. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here comes another Muma kill charge. So they're going to try to soften up this front line. This is really their final lifeline. This is it. Basically they have to pull off a miracle here with this Muma kill. But again, look at the carnage that is being, the carpet of dead bodies. You can't even see the sand. They got this lone archer, dismounted Black Numenorian. He's running out of there. There they go. They're going for the archers. They're going to try to take him out as quickly as possible. Boom! rip through their ranks. Here comes another charge. Don't go it went through the same exact path. There we go. Beautiful. That's the kind of charge you want to see. Go, Muma kill. Go, Muma kill. Go. Let's see what's happening up here. I think the other Muma kill was wiped out, unfortunately. But again, you got to watch out for those javelins. So cannon fodder, it's up to him to avoid the javelins or quickly rush them down. That is another option as well. The archers are going to stand their ground, fire their fire arrows, release their arrows. And the archers up on the Muma kill, they're also firing as quickly as possible. Oh yeah, take out the ballista. Nice. I think we also have some cav charges coming in. So Mordor is charging down some Muhad tribesmen. We will smash the enemy. But the Muma kill is still going strong. They should probably send in their calves, send up their infantry. And this is pretty much all they have. Man, these poor rebels. They didn't stand a chance. Did not stand a chance. But it's not over. The goblins can win it for them, right? The goblins can do this. They could kill the general if they get lucky, like a nice lucky charge. Alright, so the Muma kill slowly just taking his time, going over to the front lines. Muhad tribesmen trying to cut down the archers. Archers are now falling back to the safety of their infantry. Oh, getting some friendly fire. That's okay. Go, archers, go. Fire. Fire down on the enemy. They are definitely doing a lot of damage. Oh, dead. Look at that. Look at the javelins. Look at that. That is stupid strong. That is insane. Like, I get it. Javelins are strong, but they shouldn't be able to kill these elephants. Oh, there's the other one. So cannon fodder did not keep his space away from the javelins, but really, what choice did he have? I mean, really, most of this army is just consisting of javelins. So now the rest of the Haradrim rebel force is going to pretty much do a suicide. They're going to fall on their own swords, essentially. They're going to just go in, kill as many as they can, and be at peace, knowing that they fought their hearts out for their country, for what they believed what is right. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be good enough. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in the Goblin caves as this battle progresses. Let's see what's going on. Oh, Mordor going through the tunnels of death. We've got a small goblin infantry force from paladinbob holding back the orcs from Son of Imladris. We also have small pockets of goblins just kind of everywhere in these caves. So they're just kind of, you know, spread out waiting for more intruders. They definitely like to kill the enemy. So, and of course everyone is the enemy except for themselves. Let's see what else is going on here. So the cav is still running around. So yeah, it seems like they're mostly just down to their cav. So it's up to them to try to turn this one around, but it just seems like there's really no hope in this one. They do have their infantry stationed near their ballista. So if they could set up the ballista and continue to cause some damage for Mordor's allied forces, maybe we can get a victory for the goblins. But I think it's safe to say that the rebel forces were shut down pretty quickly. And I think Cannon Fodder and Miles and Davis, I think they got a little too aggressive. I think they should have just waited for Mordor to cross the bridge instead of them crossing the bridge, using their archers, using their ballista defensively, and then also using their Muma kill defensively. But again, the javelins, I mean, it's hard to face those javelins with elephants. I mean, the javelins are just OP when it comes to killing elephants. You've got to watch out for that. That's kind of the thing about the Muma kill, right? Or elephants, or any battle in Medieval 2 with elephants. It's kind of like we all know that javelins just butcher elephants, but it's a matter of guessing when your opponent's going to bring elephants to the battlefield. You know? Like, when you're playing an online battle and you're facing the Timurids or the Mongols, you don't know if they're going to bring elephants, so you don't know if you need to bring javelins. So that's like the strategy behind that, I guess. But since this is a custom scenario, the armies are already set. We got some mounted Muad Beastmasters. The general now going in. trying to protect his ballista, trying to cut down these runic forces. The troops are breaking. Such a tragic sight. It's a very dusty battlefield. The sand is turning red today as this fight continues on. Let's go ahead and head over to this side again, to the Goblin Caves, where Mordor's just like, screw it. Just send everyone in one area. So he's got a lot of infantry trying to bring down the heavy Goblin halberds. Also has some heavy Goblin infantry close by, and another row of heavy Goblin halberds waiting back. He also has a catapult that he's pushing forward, so he's trying to get them close to the fight, which would be really fantastic because of this huge blob. Perfect target for that artillery. Over on the other side, I'm sure we have the same story. Yep, pretty much the same thing going on here, except I think they're breaking through a little bit. No, well, the Goblins are holding. They're holding with 54. So the fight is still continuing on this side. But Mordor is just using brute force, using their numbers, and trying to just run past the Goblin defenders. The Goblins might have to send up some fresh troops, but I think he's just hanging back and waiting for them. Why should they face the enemy? Make them come to the Goblins. And the last of the rebel force is putting up their final stand. We will remember today of the brave rebels that fought against such odds. They fought well, they fought for their people, but, you know, didn't pay off, so better luck next year. Better luck next year. Maybe their epic stand will inspire some people who are on the fence, you know? Like the people who are undecided, and they're like, do you remember that battle where your father and my father fought and died? You know, it's like the sons of the rebels. We can't forget them. We can't just let them die. We gotta rebel as well. So maybe this battle will inspire the the troops, the future rebels that will try. Oh, there goes the general. I don't know. Was that one of the? I think that was actually one of the loyalist generals. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was Rune. Maybe no, I don't know if it was Rune. But they died near the Hashari. So who knows? Who knows what general that was? But it's a dead general. So, you know, that's a good general. A good general is a dead general. But yeah, there's really just small pockets of fighting going over here. I mean, this battle, I mean, again, let's just take the time and bow our heads. And, you know, if you're wearing a hat, please take off your hat for these dead soldiers on both sides who fought their hearts out. And, well, a lot of them died here today. Amen. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for that. But here comes more troops. They're charging across. Just, pushing back the rebels, what's left of the rebel force. And they're fleeing for their lives. Mordor is just chasing them down, and that's gonna be it for the rebels. So really, it's up to the it's up for the goblins to win this one. It's up to the goblins, and we're about halfway through the battle, a little bit more than halfway. So I think we're gonna get some pretty intense, almost like siege battle type combat of choke points and positioning your archers on the high ground. A lot of these orcs are exhausted. They're orc banned, so they're trash. They're probably gonna break pretty soon. So I think the victors, the victorious Easterling like runic forces, they're probably gonna have to head over and help deal with these goblins. So I don't know if like the goblins were just kind of waiting for someone to win, as the goblins, I would have charged out. I would have attacked and supported the rebels, and then kill the rebels once you defeated Mordor and allies. So the goblins now making their stand. More orcs pouring in to face the goblins. And we'll head back this way on this side where there was a pretty massive push. Oh yeah. And we have a catapult right in the front lines. Not sure what he's doing with that catapult, but the goblin halberds are doing an excellent job of holding back the lines against the forces of Mordor. Here we go. They're falling back. Get them out of the fight. We got some warg riders closing in. So remember, if they kill the general, which I think this is the general right here, I'm pretty sure. If they kill him, then the goblins will become loyal to Mordor. So that might be why he's really trying to push on this side, because he really just wants to... I mean, basically the battle would end once they kill the goblin general. So that fight's continuing on. Let's see what's going on. Let's go back to this side and see what's happening here. Yep, the orcs are still pushing. Still pushing, taking on the goblins. There's a couple reserve forces of goblins, but I don't really see a general over here. There's a hill. It leads up to more troops. There we go. The catapult is now firing, getting an excellent hit on the warband. That's what I like to see. Great positioning. Unfortunately, the other shot kills his own men, but only a couple men. You know, they're goblins. You know, goblin lives don't matter. It's fine. So there goes a massive break from the orcs, and they're going to fall back and go to the safety of their archers. Now we've got some black Numenorians who are going to fill their shoes and probably do a lot better. So they're going to go towards the front line. Also, we have some mounted black Numenorians who are sick of this fight. They want to end it here and take out this goblin, this rogue goblin force deep in these goblin caves, these wild goblin caves. All right, real quick, let's see what's happening here. We've got forces maneuvering this way. This is the victorious forces. Mordor sending over some black Numenorians. We also have some infantry. Yep, they're headed over to the caves. Headed over to the caves to deal with the great goblin caves. Now, do the goblins have a strong enough army? Well, if you look at the balance of power, it's not exactly looking like they do. It's not looking like the goblins are going to be able to fight their way out of this one. They're probably going to all die here today, but, you know, that's war. What can you do? What can you do about it? Archers are now focusing down the back reserves of the heavy goblin halberds. The halberds actually have a pretty good position right kind of behind this slope, protecting them from the arrows, which is pretty cool. Head back to this side, so it's just a battle of two fronts at this point. Black Numenorians are deep in enemy lines. See, where are they going? Is there anybody back here? No? Hello, hello, hello. Is there anyone out there? Anyways, the Black Numenorians are now pushing towards the catapult. So they've got to get through the goblin infantry. And I don't really see the goblins stopping them. I mean, the goblin army's not that good, except for the elite goblins that are protecting the general. But this is definitely going to be somewhat of a challenge because of the terrain and, of course, the catapult. And these archers are focusing down the Black Numenorians. So remember, if they kill the Black Numenorians, I think that is... Actually, you know what? There is a way the goblins can come out alive in this one. Kill the Black Numenorians, and it's considered a draw. Considered a draw. The fight continues on that front. We do have some archers back here still just peppering down the troops. And we have a catapult that is going rock climbing. What's happening here? Can they actually fire these catapults? That would be amazing. One catapult come on fire, please. Here we go. Amazing. Oh, and they get somewhat of a good hit on these Black Numenorians. So yeah, the catapult, it just went, you know, it went rock climbing. And it's stuck there. Once your artillery gets stuck on the side of the wall like that, you can't save it. I mean, sometimes you can keep pushing forward, but, you know, the enemy will attack it if you try to get it on that bottom ground. So it's unfortunate for that artillery piece. It might be time to send up more reinforcements. It's got heavy goblin archers who used up all their ammo, some halberds still hanging back. They might need to send up some more orcs to deal with these goblins. Definitely causing some issues for them. The trolls are hanging back. Definitely could use the trolls to try to disrupt their formation. And we'll go back to this hill battle, where the Black Numenorians are just slowly but surely killing these, just slowly grinding down these goblins. Yeah, victory will most certainly be Mordor's. So this was not a lore-friendly battle, but if it was, it would certainly end like this because of the power of Mordor. And obviously, if there was a rebellion during the War of the Ring or before the War of the Ring and they were victorious, we would know about it because it would be like really like more like Gondor would try to support that rebellion. You know, they would send over possibly even men, but they would definitely send over supplies, weapons, trying to support the rebels, trying to gain their freedom. Because not only would it hurt Sauron, you know, it would make them weaker, but also they would get an ally out of it. And Gondor and Harad, I mean, not exactly pals, not exactly friends, but if Gondor actually spent men or, you know, sent men or gave them supplies and supported their rebellion, then they could have, you know, made a friendship. They could have, you know, supported each other and both united bring down the forces of Sauron. So, I don't know. It's, you know, but yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff if you just think about it. Like from a historical point of view. Which is the cool thing about Lord of the Rings is like, it's a fantasy world, but it feels historical. Like it feels like this actually happened somewhere in a different galaxy a long, long time ago. But that's why when people ask me like, wouldn't it be cool to see a Lord of the Rings Total War? And I'm always kind of hesitant to say that because I didn't really I liked Warhammer, but I don't think the style that they use for Warhammer would actually work with Lord of the Rings. Like I would rather their historical team work on Lord of the Rings rather than their fantasy team, because again, Lord of the Rings, it feels a bit more historical. It feels like the way the soldiers fight, the way, you know, there's kings and just this great backstory. I think it's got to be historical, like, or you know, the historical team has to make it, because the more real it feels, the better it will be. And I don't really want like over-the-top fantasy for Lord of the Rings. Just my opinion, though. I mean, who knows? Maybe you guys would rather the Warhammer team make it. Alright, so the catapult is now using rotting meat, rotting flesh to try to defend their front line. The back reserve still hanging back. We're going to just go ahead and do ×2 speed. Just to keep up the pace of the battle. Really nothing tactical is going on here. We're just seeing a big choke point battle. But the trolls are trying to fight off these ward riders. They're finally down to nothing. And they can continue their advance. I think they've got to kill this lone ward rider who just won't give up. Come on, kill him. Never. Nope. There they go. Oh, he just crushed them with his battle mace there. Finally, they can charge up. They're gonna face the halberds. They're gonna continue on their war path on trying to bring down the goblin chief. Let's head back this way, where the catapult has been neutralized. The catapult has been destroyed, the crew at least, and the Black Numenorians are just unstoppable. I mean, this is like a bunch of grown adults fighting children. Like, the goblins just stand no chance against these Black Numenorians. They are in a league of their own. So they're now they're gonna leave this this area. I mean, all of the goblins have been killed over on this side. So now they can focus all of their attention over on this side, which we do have more forces from Mordor coming around. We've got actually some Southron warband who are now going to join the fight. We're at the final stages of the battle, so we'll speed it up a tad bit and just continue, just enjoy the choke point fighting and talk a little bit more about Lord of the Rings. Just talk about this battle in detail, kind of. Let's cover like what the armies could have done better. Again, if we go back to Cannon Fodder and Miles, I mean, I pretty much said everything that I think would have, like, it's easy to be a backseat gamer, by the way. Like, I'm not, you know, I want to make it clear, it's easy to sit back and just say what someone did wrong. And, you know, when you're actually fighting a battle, it's harder to really determine the best decision. But I think if they played this one again and they were a little bit more defensive, not saying that they could have won, because, I mean, this battle seemed to be greatly in favor of Mordor and allies, but they definitely could have, it would have been closer. It's just I wish the javelins weren't so broken against the Muma kill. Like, it's instant kill with those javelins, which is silly. It's just absolutely silly. I don't know why that's the case. So for the goblins, I guess they just had to sit back and wait for someone to be victorious. Oh, wow. Wait, how did Cav get behind him? Did he send Cav this way? Yeah, I think he's sending... Wait, no, there's a small force over here as well with goblins. So is he sending Cav this way? No, it can't be, because there's no way they got around the goblins who are defending the choke points. But yeah, if I was the goblins, I would just group up for the final stand. I don't know if there's like a rule against that. Not too sure. Wow, there's a lot of goblins. Actually, I think this is the general right there. Oh yeah, they're falling back. They're getting ready for their final stand. Wait, there's just tons of goblins. My goodness. I'm about to say, I was like, there's no way that this... Because there's still a lot of frames left. So who knows? The goblins might actually... I mean, they need a miracle here, but they could be victorious. Who knows? Black Numenorians coming to chase down whatever. Let's see, where are they going? I don't know. They should just keep pushing, though. Go for the general. Take out the general. So let's actually *6 speed it and wait until the next great infantry battle. Finally, Mordor is advancing upon the goblin position. The goblins, of course, are using their artillery very defensively and getting some pretty good hits. Almost hits on the Black Numenorians. Now we've got a lot of arrows coming down as well. So this battle is picking up once again, and we're going to have quite the showdown. The last stand from the goblins, which is going to be very entertaining to watch. But here comes the Black Numenorians. We also have Orc Archers who are in the front lines, which is great. He still has a lot of reserves back here. He's just hanging back. He's just kind of testing the waters. Back over on this side, we do have more forces coming around this way. We got Rune and Mordor pushing some troops down this way, and they're gonna face the goblins who are holding this little like town, like courtyard area in their caves. I guess these are pretty neat caves. And here we go, more and more forces from Rune, from Mordor, from Harad. They're advancing and they're ready to support this main fight. The Black Numenorians are about to clash, and they are getting sprayed down from those goblin archers, the Snaga archers. Oh! And the catapult wiping them out. So there goes. Here comes the charge of infantry. Nice, nice, nice volley. Fantastic. So it's up to those archers to win this fight, to save their goblin caves. Here comes the Olag High. That's going to make things a little bit more challenging. And they're going to just run through the goblin infantry, make it very difficult for them. They're going to continue on to the archers. In fact, they might even continue on to the catapults. But we got more goblins running downhill. Goblins look great, man. I love these heavy goblins. They look fantastic. More and more of the forces of Mordor. Rune sending over archers. Yeah, there's no way they can hold here for too long. There's no way. So we'll continue to go *2 speed, so we can enjoy this battle in a timely manner. Back here, there's a little bit of a fight. I think they're kind of surrounded. We got some cycle charges from the Black Numenorians. Also over on this side, there's a bit of a fight happening here. Oh, nice. The fire arrows. Look at that. That was epic. So the Southron Warband closing in on the heavy goblin halberds. This is really, again, another last stand from the goblins, trying to slow down the reinforcements of Mordor. Pretty cool stuff. Varag Raiders, they might be trying to get around the halberds. Let's see if they can push through them. Go after the archers. Let's see. Go, go, go. They're going to lose a lot, though. The archers instead decide to charge in and try to keep the cav in position so the halberds can continue to kill them. Actually, a pretty good move from the goblin players. Well done. Well done indeed. And now more Black Numenorians. Oh man, just the rulers of this battlefield right now. Just destroying forces, whatever stands in their way. And this is really the most important fight, if we can get to it, if we can find it. There it is. This is the most important fight. Whoever wins this one is, well, I mean, the goblins have to win here because their general is going to be in danger. And we are getting closer and closer to the end of this battle. So either the goblins pull off a very like a Christmas miracle, or the general dies. And really, this is the general's last stand. Here he is with his bodyguard. He's got to fight to the death. We've got goblin archers trying to slow down this advance. We have catapults he's trying to save his catapult from the Olag High, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. And look at this. You're not going to stop this force. There's just no... Look at this. Healthy army. Nothing you can do against that. Nothing. So there goes the charge. Up the hill. There's the Witch King, cuz. We're going to fast forward until this infantry actually gets to the top here. Starts killing these archers.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Only half the enemy force. Really? The goblins are now down to half? Like, you'd think they'd be down to half a long time ago. So they're going to be able to slice through these archers like butter. Cut through them so quickly. Oh, yeah. They got that catapult working. Just some last minute, like, hey, screw you before you die kind of shots. You could go to hell kind of shots. Come on, fire. One more. Let's get another one. Let's get a clean hit. A clean hit. Oh, that was cleanest of the clean. That was beautiful. That killed a ton. Just a long line of burnt up troops. The general has fallen back. We've got one crazy runic force. One soldier who's just like, where's the general? Where's the chieftain? Ah! He tried to kill him. He tried. More clan soldiers coming in, clan warriors. Olag High kind of getting slowed down by the catapults. The javelin are doing their damage. And this is most certainly going to be the end of the goblin chief. And the end of the battle. He's fallen back, though. He's fallen back. He's running. He's like, not today. There may come a time. Oh, wait, no. That's it. They captured him, too. They didn't kill him. So that's going to be the battle, guys. That is a defeat for both the goblins in the goblin caves, and the rebels trying to rebel against Sauron. And those who were captured, I pity their souls, because I'm sure they're going to die a very slow and painful death. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to these results. There goes, oh wait, maybe that's the general. I don't know, doesn't matter. It's not like they're gonna win this one. There we have it. So I think that was actually the general. So here's the kills. Now it shows the goblins on the same side of Harad, but that's just not the case. So I mean, they're enemies. It's just the game doesn't split the teams up like that. They did pretty well. I mean, they've got a decent amount of kills, but just Mordor and Rune had a lot of great forces and pretty cool forces as well. The Muma kill. Let's see the Muma kill. Actually, we can't. Ah, dang it, we can't see their kills. But there's Mordor's kills. So pretty cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another awesome custom scenario. I think this one's really cool. The battle wasn't exactly close by any means, but the scenario was awesome, and that I appreciate. And I want to give a big thank you to paladinbob for making this one, and all the players who were playing in it. It was a good show. I enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure you guys enjoyed it as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.